Right, so let's see if I've got buttons that will allow, yes, there we go, if we click. So basically, the Shoot and Share Academy is kind of like an extension of the challenge. The challenge gives you a taster of what you might see within it. So it's international. We are going to have Brits and Americans. I know for a fact that Levi is definitely joining us, at least for the first month, if not longer. And I am planning on doing a lot more promotion now. I'm getting the hang of actually marketing in a non-personal basis. So there should be more kids joining over the next month. But you are like founding members, so I'm going to be doing you a special offer if your children would like to learn new photography skills. And we're going to look at making that accessible, whether they're on a real camera or a mobile. However, if you are able to get a camera with some extra settings and a certain amount of manual mode, they're going to really fly and take off. But I know that that isn't always within budget, so we're able to teach people how to take great photos no matter what they have. It's just they may look slightly different with the amount of control they have. Because we can develop the creative eye. So that means we can help them see what they're photographing, learn how to make a good composition, how to connect people, how to put emotion in it, how to see the world through different eyes, see the world like an artist sees it and share that with the people around them. What makes the difference between a good photo or a snapshot and an amazing piece of art or a story. So that's part of what we're going to be doing. And also it should enable them to make some friends as they meet with the same people week on week. And learning together is so much more fun, because when you see what other people are doing, it just gives you ideas and you start bouncing. And it's like when, as soon as somebody saw this frog, they were like, oh, I want to go and take pictures of bugs and wildlife in my garden. So having some people with shared interests, the connections are amazing. I remember some of my early friends from some of the clubs I joined. I went to an art and create club and it was fantastic. So yeah, we're going to also look at learning to document and tell our story so we can keep memories. I don't know about you, but personally, I collect my photos as ways of looking back and remembering the things I did, the places I went, those happy family holidays, and also some of the weird and wonderful things, like I have pictures of museum plaques and, you know, school trips and randomness. Yeah, so learning to document and tell your story, so helping them to see what's around them and decide what's important, because taking 12 million photos is just going to back your computer or your phone up. So it's then learning to be specific. I know we had 51 photos of frogs, for instance, AJ.
Yes.
But then we'll look at things like how to organise the photos and how to choose what's best and delete the ones we don't need, because I believe that is a key skill in the digital age.
Yes.
Very much so. And also, one of the things that I really am going to be looking to do is help them to share and talk about their own photographs in front of the group. So we'll do a bit of public speaking and presenting. We'll even get them to the point where they're really clever at using Zoom and are able to share their photo on their screen. So they're going to pick up some extra computing skills along the way. And depending on the tech you've got, phones or computers, we'll be able to give you 1 or 2 free editing apps, and we'll even take it further and look at how to edit photos and make them 5 times better than they were straight out of camera. So the main aim is, as well as having fun. Oh,
what was that?
I do not know. Right, so creating photographs that you can be proud of. So the main aim is that they're going to get really confident with using the camera, taking awesome photos, and being able to share them with people, hence it being the Shoot and Share Academy. So this is for any child at all. So no matter what level of academia they have, no matter what level of science and capability, no matter how good they are at photos or technology usage, we're going to do levels at multiple lessons. Nobody is going to be left behind. We're going to make it so that we have something to interest everybody. So depending on who's involved at the time, we will use, in my lessons will use different examples so that there's something that everybody can connect with. So if you do join and at any point you feel that your child would really benefit from a specific thing, I'm always happy to be in contact. I have a Facebook page and an email address, and you can tell me what you think would really help, because we're going to be growing and developing together. So This will help them find their creative voice, and you never know, they may even get a chance to change the world, because pictures tell 1,000 words, and my main aim is that this will give them a skill that will help them for the rest of their lives. So why photography? Not everybody is an academic, not everybody is a writer, not everyone is a speaker, a dancer, a musician, a singer, or an athlete. But we all have an important message to get across. We all have something of our personality to communicate. And I believe each one of us is creative and needs to find an outlet and a way to express ourselves in a way that we can understand and share with others. So while we may find that some children love to go to ballet lessons and other children absolutely want to get on board with theatre or drama, and some want to go and do science experiments and blow the world up, we all need to find a way that there's something that we can have a hobby that we can be passionate about. And for me, it's photography. Here are some of the first few days' photos that we had off our children. And as you can see, we've been looking at all the world in all sorts of different ways. And picking up by getting the feedback from them on each photo, the lessons are able to be tailored specifically to their capabilities, their strengths, and also to bring their weaknesses up, because we can target where, because we'll be involved week on week. This isn't just a video course. This isn't just go do the work and send an assignment in. This is a process where we are going to create and learn together. So this is going to be guided by the children where I take the lessons, using all of my years of photography education. So when I see a photo, like I love the movement in this grass. I believe that was one of Lucas's, but at the same time, I can see that there's more than just the movement of the blur. There's a little bit of a lack of focus. So we can work then on getting that focus exactly nailed through lessons and progressing. And we can also show them how they've gone from where they are to where they've got to be. So it's going to be so good to see them come alive as they can see their own results improving and they can see that they are progressing and growing. So the Shoot and Share Academy will be held weekly, and it's an hour-and-a-half session, because the main aim of this session is that I want the kids to be able to have time to play some games and to do a bit of team building activities, to be able to interact with the others in the group and each to have their say. But I also want time for some teaching and some question and answer, so that we can look at what they've done on the previous week. And so rather than just having a different subject every week, we're going to have a monthly subject, and we're going to do 4 lessons involved in that, and that will help them to progress over the course of a project. So there'll be 12 projects a year. And this means that over the course of a year, they should have a minimum of 12 awesome photos that they are absolutely proud of, that would make a photography portfolio. And that would enable them, should they wish to go for awards. I know that there are photography clubs and so on that you almost have to pass exams to get into, and they want you to be able to share photos and show your technicality and your creativity. So should they want to pursue a career as a photographer even, which they may not at this age, but should it be something they're aiming for, this will really help prepare and set them up. And even if they don't, they'll know how to take amazing photos that will help all of their project work, any presentations that they ever need to do, any online creation. It will help them once they hit social media to have an appealing page. There's so many applications in just being able to know how to take the photos and get what you want to. And I'm actually going to be looking for competitions actively that the children can enter, because I want to be promoting their work and giving them the opportunity outside of the academy to actually win real world prizes that are bigger than I could ever fund. And who knows, as we grow, I might be able to get some sponsors and get some better prizes anyway. But in the meantime, I want to help them enter national and world-renowned competitions specifically for children, because there's nothing better than feeling the buzz. I mean, you go and you play football, you get to play in competitions. You go dancing and you take part in certification. You know, there's ways that you get recognised. So I want to be able to recognise their skills and help them feel like they are awesome. And the other thing that I'm really looking to do is a bit like we used to have pen friends. I don't know if you ever had a pen friend. I did. I want to give them the opportunity to learn that we are different but yet the same. So at the moment it's UK and America, but there is the hope that depending on time zones, I might be able to get maybe some other European or South American children involved. Potentially, we'll be able to have people that are somewhere between our 2 time zones, and that will be awesome. And more than anything, have fun, because you don't want school to feel like school. While you want your kids to learn, you want them to keep engaged. You don't want them to lose that fun element. So the whole thing is going to be wrapped up in exploring and doing challenges and gamification and all of these techniques which are used to just make it not feel like sit down and do your work, I'm going to mark it with a red pen, because I'm not a fan of that. But we can do text.
Yeah, you can. There you go. You type it in. Yep.
Yeah. How's that for clever?
Beautiful.
Moving online is like a whole new world.
It is.
Right.
It is.
So I'm just going to pop my spreadsheet over to one side, and I actually have decided that the easiest way to do this is I'm going to have 2 sign-up pages, because if I did it all in UK pounds, which you probably would have been fine with, it would mean that your pricing would move month on month or quarter on quarter, due to the exchange rates. So what I've decided to do is, because I have the brilliance of an account with Stripe that allows me to have 2 bank accounts, I am going to set you up a US dollar price which will stay fixed, which means you always know how to budget, save you the drama, but it means my UK customers can have a UK price. So they're currently on the exchange rate on par, and at some points they'll differ a little bit more, and at some points they'll come back together. So that should mean that you know exactly what you're signing up for and where you're standing. Now, because the session is an hour and a half, current rates, looking around, this is actually for one session on the weekly, on the cheaper end. If you do a 10-week photography course, you're looking at about $20 for that same amount of time. So what I wanted to do was be able to offer you, as some of my first clients to my online academy, a really good price. However, if you have more than 1 child who wants to do it, we are going to offer you a discount. So the second child will not be $16, but they will be $12.
That was going to be my question. So look at you. You already took care of that.
However, if you know you don't want, so weekly payment, this is awesome if you're doing a lot of traveling around and you can't commit to a number of sessions. However, if you want to bundle them together and you know that you are going to be able to make 4 sessions, then I want to be able to say to you, because you're committing to that and I know you're going to show up, that actually we are looking at $56, which works out at $14 per session for the 4 weeks. Oh, that should have said 4 weekly. Now it's actually a, make the box wider. There we go. Put that on the next line. So with the 4 weekly, it's equivalent of $14 a session, and it's actually a rolling subscription, but at any point you want to pause or cancel it, you can email me and we can set up pause or cancel if you know, for instance, you're going on vacation for a month, traveling the world or doing something and won't have internet. But it is set up so that you're not having to go in and do it every month, but should you need to pause it, we can do that. Now, there are some weeks where we actually, so it's the equivalent of monthly. So it's 4 sessions a month. It's a monthly payment. But because there's some months where there's 5 weeks, you may well get a bonus session, or it might just account for when I am on vacation and making sure I'm still serving you that guaranteed 4 sessions. So we'll probably have a Christmas party. We may have a summer party, but on the whole, it's going to be 4 weekly. If a load of them win a competition, we'll probably do a bonus session just to celebrate that they've won a competition and how amazing are we. Let's just have a party call, because that's what I like to do. And again, that is about 25% off, I think it works out at. So that would be $42 if you had a second child on the monthly plan. However, should you have 1 child who hasn't tried it yet and you want them to have a tester, might I add, very importantly, everybody is allowed, you've had it over the challenge, but everybody is allowed a free taster session.
Okay. I was going to ask that because I have my middle son, Jacob, he's 8.
Yes.
And he's been begging me all week, and I know he'd love to do it, but the problem with him is he tends to shut down when he gets on, in these Zoom groups. And so we're working on it by him doing little classes here and there, the little $10 stuff here and there to get him used to it. But I definitely didn't, don't want to sign him up for something ongoing if he's gonna just shy away and decide not to participate.
The other thing you can do is, if your second child is a second child, you can always have a monthly for your first child, and you can then take the second child on a weekly. So if he wants to join us once a month, he can pay $12, because he would be your second child no matter how often he comes. So you could be on a different payment plan for one child to the second, but I'll still honour the second child rate. We might have to do some jiggery pokery in the background to make that work. In terms of the payment, probably won't work on the funnel yet till I get really snazzy payment carts in place. But at the end of the day, there's always PayPal links. We can make it.
Yeah.
So a free taste and see session. And because I know that sometimes it's easy to feel quite overwhelmed in the first, why is it not doing a, how do I get back in that? Oh, do you know what? We'll just type a new box. Because it's easy to get overwhelmed the first session, we're also doing a 50% off second session.
Okay.
Well, so if they want to bring any friends,
that's what I was going to say.
That they can come along for free the first week, and then they can come a second week. So instead of being 16, it would be 8.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Or if they were a sibling, it would be 6. Because I'm very aware that the first session, you can come in and you think, this is awesome fun, but are they actually going to stick with it?
Stick with it, yeah.
So you get 50% off a second. If you're still not ready to sign them up on a monthly plan, you can always take the one-off weekly sessions. They'll be available at any given point. However, for those of you who have somebody who is on a roll and you know that there's nothing's going to stop them, so you might as well save all the money up front. If you want to sign up for a quarter at a time, so 3 months, we're offering for the quarterly plan, which would be taken 4 times a year, which works out at 12 per session. Which then means, as you know, with the 25% off, that your second child will be 108, which works out at, oh, what's that, 9? There you go. Because I know how expensive it gets being a mum of many children, and I also know that it's less admin work for me. So I may, if you have 3 children, talk to me, I might be able to come up with some sort of additional discount for a 3rd child. Because if you're doing all the payments and sorting it out, that's going to make life easier at my end, so I can afford to offer a little bit more discount for you. Because I love people to be happy, and at the end of the day, taking money is not my strong point. Teaching and having fun is. So the more time I can spend having fun and teaching, and the less time I have to spend behind the scenes dealing with additional questions, sending extra emails, and helping people to sort out their their ongoing plans, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And I think it probably is for you as well. Now, these rates at some point, once we start getting more popular, will go up. But if you maintain a subscription on monthly or on the quarterly plan, I will honour those rates for as long as you say stay subscribed, even if there are price increases. Should you cancel the plan at any point, if you can have a few pauses a year, a bit like my contact lens scheme, but if you cancel at any point, unfortunately, then you will have to sign up at the new rate, whatever that is. But for the time being, if you keep it, we'll allow you to have a few pauses if necessary. So if you need to pause it for going away, or if there's a family member who gets really sick and you just don't have the time to orchestrate kids' activities, I know life happens and I want to do my best to help you. So any problems, just email me and we will work that out between us. We can have a Zoom call or send some emails. But as far as I'm concerned, I think this is the best offer you are going to get for a kids' photography club at the moment.
I think it's awesome. I think you're awesome.
The more people that you can get involved and bring on board, the more we will be able to do in the way of offering awesome prizes and continuing to give you awesome rates.
Yeah. Well, I've got a homeschool group that I definitely, I mean, Becca saw. I didn't get to post this until like what was it, the day before, I think. It
Mhm.
started.
Yeah, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah. So, and I had quite a few of my friends who messaged me immediately and said, "Well, I want to do that, but I can't do it this week." So,
Well,
yeah,
do you know
I've got
what?
quite a few who, yeah.
I
Can you
wasn't going to
handle
do
them?
this, but I am going to add an additional bonus for you guys.
Okay.
Every other parent, new parent stroke child, that you get to sign up and says that if they sign up, they refer you and say, it was AJ, it was Rebecca who signed me up.
Mhm.
You can have, I'm going to have the option once a month for a bonus session. So if you've managed to sign up an additional child or parent, your child, or you could use it for yourselves. If I start an adult class, I could do it as an adult class instead. Will get a bonus session for those people who have referred. So that's in addition to what you've paid for, on top of, as well as. And if as parents you decide that actually you want to make that, and if some people decide that they want a child session and some decide they want a parents, well, it looks like I'm running two. So
You're gonna have to
there we
start
go.
doing like, the parent-child classes. Like, how
Yeah.
they do like the mommy and me stuff, but now it'll be for photography.
Making note. See, the world is a very big place,
Yep.
and you can only run with a certain number of ideas at once.
Right. And then the other question is, when would it start? When would you start the
Yeah.
So we're starting on Thursday.
Thursday? Oh, you are just waste no time.
Well, what's the point? If people are keen,
I agree.
and if you're paying now, it starts. So basically, it would be starting the July quarter because Thursday is the
Yeah.
1st or 2nd of July. It's the first Thursday in July. So it's Thursdays at the same time. So it is going to be 5 p.m. UK, which makes it 9 a.m. PST. Therefore, sorry, I have to do them all if I'm going to work out what they are. I only know them in a line.
So it should be 12. It should be noontime for us, I think. You
And
said 5 p.m., right? Yeah.
12 p.m. Eastern. Yes. I literally have to do them one by one because I work my way across the United States time zone at a time.
Would we be able to figure out something else if the kids are in school for SUS?
Would we be able to, sorry, SUS?
If I put Lucas back into school, will we be able to figure out?
He's not homeschool. We may have to look at doing a Saturday session then. That might be a thing. Sorry, I hadn't realised Lucas was in school and therefore that timing will not work apart from homeschool. Aha. I had not clocked that one because you're in holidays at the moment, aren't you? Whereas we're in term time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've been out. I mean, everyone's been out of school now because of COVID. And we don't even know what that's going to look like if people are going back in the fall.
So at the moment, for this term, you're still available, yes? Till
Yes.
like when does the fall term start or semester start for you guys normally? Ignore COVID, but what time of year do you normally go back to school?
We go back mid-August.
Mid-August. Well, that means that we've got at least a month to sort out a different day of the week for working out a Saturday time. All we need to do is try and advertise it enough that I can get some people who want to join a Saturday club, and then we're grand. However, what I will say, Rebecca, is if for some reason I don't manage to get a Saturday club up and running and you've gone with the better rate of the quarterly plan and you seriously can't make a session that I'm running, I will refund you pro rata exactly where we're up to until we can make a plan. And if you then re-enroll once I've managed to make it work, because I don't want to promise future in case it goes a bit funny, then I will still give you this rate because you would have been there, could you have been there.
Okay.
If that sounds fair to you.
Oh, it does, because he's full. I talked to AJ earlier, and this kid is like in it to win it. He is very passionate about what he likes, and this is totally up his alley.
But yeah, so Rebecca, basically you would definitely get 6 weeks of the quarter, and then I would just refund you the second half of that. So if you got the $144, you get half if we couldn't. But my aim is to definitely have a session running by then. I was looking at moving to doing 2 sessions a week anyway, if I can get enough kids. So that would just become a week evening and in the UK and week morning in the States, and it would become a Saturday. So
I actually have a really good idea if I could message you when we hang up.
Yes, of course. Yeah, by all means, message me. But yeah, the last thing Lucas has been great, and the last thing I'd want to do is lose him the opportunity for sure. So,
yes.
I mean, do you know what? Do you know what might be easier in case school restarts? Is if you wanted to sign up, I could probably create you a 6-month rate that was basically half of the quarter for this one until we know what's happening and where it's going, because let's face it, the rules are different in COVID. Nothing's the same.
It is.
So nothing's
the same.
So how about I make a special COVID nothing's the same rate for you? So
because my thing is, I was sitting here doing it and I was like, well, I'm not being funny, but I'm ready to sign up for the year, not just 3 months.
Okay.
Because I know he's passionate. Once he gets passionate about something, it doesn't go away. So I know that this is something he's going to continue learning for at least the next year. And realistically, I know it's going to be continuous after that.
Cool. And the other thing I didn't tell you, it's on my sign up page, but I didn't tell you, every kid who signs up on the subscription rate is going to get a welcome pack in the post, a real parcel. But I don't want to say what's in it because trying to work out how to post things in the US from a US supplier. I know what I can do in the UK, but now I have to make it happen in the US. So I'm not going to say it's going to be a surprise. What I was going to say is, if they are like, oh, do we have to have a photo? The way, like it's almost like bargaining. But if they get the photo they want and you actually show them it on the camera, you say, great, we'll take this photo for you, but then we take one for mummy as well.
That's a good deal right there.
So it means that you say, and go, how would you like this photo to be? Why don't you do your pose? And then we can do a pose for mummy as well.
There you go.
I like that.
And we can teach you. The other thing that I can really do is teach you how to get the natural photos where they get used to the camera being in the background, because if they don't have to smile and they don't have to pose, then you'll actually get much better photos. You won't get the cheese face or the I have to teenage being obnoxious face.
Yep.
You didn't see my polka dots there.
That's why all the photos of me are terrible growing up, because they were always posed and I am not. So some people are naturally really photogenic and like you can catch them at any, in any pose and they look great. I am not one of those people. And let me tell you, all the posed photos look terrible of me. like terrible. So yeah.
Well, one of the things we'd have to do then going forward is also teach you how to have confidence on camera and pose.
Oh, I have confidence on. I mean, I was the theater major. I'm not photogenic in photographs, like in still photos. Nope.
No, it's not that you're not photogenic. You are beautiful and have a gorgeous smile. What it is that you've learned over time that you always look bad on a photograph. And once you learn that you look bad, you then mimic that going, there's no point trying because I always look horrific. That's just my photo face. What it is you haven't learned how to stand to suit your body type, to suit the photo, to feel relaxed. And until you learn to relax in front of a camera and see a good photo of you, it's going to be really hard to change that mindset. But have you seen the difference on some, you were looking at 2 of my profile photos and you can they look amazing, but it's because I had to learn to relax in front of a camera. If you look at some of my early ones, I really do look terrible. That's because I thought I don't take a good photo, I always look terrible.
Gotcha.
And until I learned to trust the person taking the photograph to know what angles were good for me, or to know not to capture, like my mum can take photos where either my eyes are closed, my mouth is open, or I'm scowling. That is what she does.
I think that's what mine did too.
Mine too. To this day, she still can't take a good photo. I'm like, Ma, just stop.
Hey, Lizzie, you're just gonna have to teach the world how to take better photos.
One person at a time, we're winning.
One person at a time. That's right.